G'day, Steve Morgan here, Australian Bass Tournaments with the winner of the Bassman round of the 13 Fishing Bass Pro Series on the Clarence River. Where we are sitting right now was actually underwater a month ago, like seriously underwater. But Kris Banks, 10.68 kilos of bass. She caught 5.57 on day one, 5.11 on day two. Those two consistent 5 kilo bags put you on top of Brian Everingham. Good to see someone finally beat Evo by a few grams.
Yeah, it was a concern when he was walking up worrying about what he had. So
this is your first ABT event win. Must feel pretty good to finally get one of these on the mantelpiece.
Awesome. Yeah, great. You know, you put a lot of work into sort of getting to this point. So yeah, to finally get a win, yeah, good feeling.
Tell us how local you are to Grafton here. How far do you live from the place?
Hour.
About an hour.
Coffs Harbour. Yeah, so yeah, not far up here. Yeah.
This would be what I'd say would be your local big river, though, and you spent a bit of time on it. Tell us a little bit about your pre-fishing. You said you came up here when the floods were on. That's pretty brave.
Yeah, so pretty well. I was waiting for the water to drop a bit so we could get, and honestly spent majority of my time pre-fishing downriver, putting in at Brush Grove before work most mornings, coming up here, doing the run, looking for the fish. Found fish down there, they just weren't biting at all. So then on the Thursday before the pre-fish ban, water was still up pretty high. Went for a run up as far as Rogan's. Water looked like coffee. It's pretty horrible. Flowing hard. There were fish held up on the edges, and I thought, well, just wait and see how far it drops. During the week, a couple of times while I was up here for work, drove out and had a look at what the water was doing, and it was getting cleaner and cleaner. And did a run to Coppenhurst on what was that, Thursday, Arvo, and looked at the water and went, yep, going to do the run. So that was Friday.
So it wasn't an accident that you put yourself in the place to catch the fish to win the tournament. It wasn't just a lucky stop, was it?
Oh, no. Lots of hours on the water.
Yep.
So
take us through your 2 days of tournament fishing, and I want to have a look at some of the tackle and the baits that you use, but tell us the story of your first ABT win.
Yeah, so started off heading upriver on Saturday morning. Went up and had a good look about and running around with the live scope. I was throwing top water early. Wasn't really getting the bites on top water. Had Cameron Hall with me early. He's a local, Grafton River, Mo tackle employee. So yeah, did a good run up, had a look. Got a couple of fish early, couple of smaller ones. Threw a Bassman spinnerbait over the top of the snag, and the first big fish came out. So we just persisted. Pretty big snag, probably 15, 20 metres across it. Just kept working from one side to the other, watching the fish swimming in and out of it on the live scope, and just persisted. Cameron was throwing beetle spins and stuff and picking up smaller fish, so that sort of got us our four pretty quick, but then just upgrading with the spinnerbaits.
Tell us about the spinnerbait you were using. This is the Bassman round, and that looks like a Bassman spinnerbait. It looks like one of the TW models, and you know what TW stands for, don't you?
Yeah, I just heard.
We covered that in the story on ABT Live only a week or two ago. Tournament winner, I'm going to say.
That'll sounds better. Let's go with
Give
that.
us a look at that bait. Give us a free spool there.
Oops.
And I don't want it in my finger, but that's a TW, and it's got silver and black blades. What's the story with the black blades?
I didn't even realise it had black blades till Glenn just pointed it out to me, and I was just going with silver rather than gold. We got a couple of fish on the beetle spins on the silver, and yeah, that was there. So started chucking it around. That's what they were taking to it.
Now, you've got a trailer hook on there as well. That's something you add yourself?
No, that was on there. So, yep, that one was on there. So, at one stage I threw a plastic on the back of it and they weren't touching it and just went back to throwing it on its own.
They don't mind it sparse there. What outfit are you throwing this on? This looks like a fairly sturdy outfit. Yeah,
it's not bad. Good solid rod. It's what I use for jigging a fair bit. Abu Garcia MGX reel, running the villain rods. So they don't actually make these villain rods, which is a shame. They're a great stick.
Quite light in the hand.
They are real light. Yep. Yeah, good light, easy to throw around. A bit over 7-to-1 ratio on the reel. So.
And it's not finesse line and leader either. What you got on there?
No, so running 14 pound. That's running Daiwa J braid, and running FC Rock 14 pound leader as well.
Yeah. So you hook them in a big snag, you want to get them out.
Oh yeah, drag's locked. It don't move. Nothing comes out. So yeah, they do a bit of heaving and hoeing.
Tell us about today's fishing. You knew that you were a little bit behind the leaders. You did the same thing, or did you change up your plans?
same thing.
Same thing.
Yep. So I just went back to that snag hoping they were there. Gave it a bit of a break, running up and down the banks a bit as well. Just checking to see there was still fish moving about, but not the size of the fish that were in the snags. Yep. So yeah, there was only really 2 logs that the fish really come on, the good ones. Yep. So yeah, that was good, just moving amongst them.
Tell us about the Garmin LiveScope. You use it to look at these 2 main snags. I suppose seeing the fish swim around in there gives you the confidence to stay there after you've caught a few fish on it. Like, I suppose before LiveScope we'd think, oh, we've caught 10 fish out of that snag now, there's going to be no more in there, but yep. You know differently, don't you?
Oh, you learn so much from the LiveScope. Yeah, I've had the LiveScope a bit over a year now. Probably the first 6 months it was like playing a PlayStation. You didn't ever put it down, you never caught fish, you just looked at your screen. After you sort of relax and start actually using it as a fishing tool rather than watching it as a video game, yep. You soon pick up what the fish are doing, and the biggest thing is probably how they react to different baits. Yep. That's more, you might be throwing and getting nothing. You watch while you're throwing with LiveScope and you go, hang on, that fish reacted, it came up. Yeah, pretty big thing at Glenbourne recently. Had the fish, I was throwing surface, whopper ploppers as yep. they are, and the fish were actually coming from 10 metres to hit it. They weren't actually on the edges or on the trees. Yep. They were 10 metres down, and you'd watch them rise as you start pulling it along. So that LiveScope, it's just invaluable.
Changes your fishing, doesn't it?
Oh, completely, and just changes your whole attitude towards sort of what fish are doing and how they're going about. So
awesome. Tell us about the second outfit you got there. You got a blade on that. I'll put this one down here at the moment. I'll put him up there. Right. What's the deal with this fella?
Expensive outfit. So just running the Daiwa Hyper, bottom of the range. Yeah, really light, 1 to 3 kilo. Rods are right.
That's right. They don't make them anymore.
It's had worse than that. And just running one of they're literally a $70 Daiwa spin reel. No, they're nothing flash, but they work. And yeah, I just use it for my plastics and for Vex blades. So one of the big fish today came on the Vex 4.42 mil, just in the black with a bit of orange yep. and stuff under it.
And that was in the snags, or were you fishing them more in the open?
So it was in the snags. The fish were coming in and out of the snags onto the gravel. Yep. They'd do a circle of about 5 metres and come back in. So threw upriver, dropped it into sort of where their limit was, and then I'd just start lifting it. And I seen one actually come right out to it, and he just picked it up and he went straight up river, thankfully. Yep. We moved out away from everything and fought him on the gravel, and you'll see on the videos later. It was yeah, he just kept pulling and I'm like, hang on, don't pop a hook. But yep. honestly, when it got back, they're tiny little hooks, but he had both of them embedded that hard. It was an effort to get them out. Yep. So yeah, for anyone.
the old Vex does the job.
Just worked. Yep. So yeah, it did the trick. Just a combination of a couple of different things. So yeah, it worked.
That's awesome, mate. Your first event win. Any sponsors did you want to thank on the video?
Yeah, so massive thanks to Mo Tackle and Outdoors. We've got North Coast Boating Centre. Sam and the team down there, they're fantastic. Keep the boat running. Garmin, they've been supporting me with LiveScope and the Force motor, and yeah, so that's all been really good. Obviously, massive thank you to my wife as well for yep. Allowing me to come out and play as often as she does.
Last time I saw, she had the check.
She did. I don't know where she's gone. It's disappeared. So yeah, worth every second of being out to get here.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. It's awesome to see a new ABT Angler winner, and it's also awesome to see the sponsors' products being involved in that win. So some people might say that's called tournament wanker. I think it's called tournament winner, and we got yours right here, Kris Banks.
She's a winner. So no, and thanks to you guys. Look, love your tournaments. Run around, sort of doing as many of them as we can, and yeah. Loving every bit of it.
Awesome. Well, we were underwater here a month ago, but this river is down now and it is full of bass. Get your ass here if you want to catch some in Grafton here in New South Wales.